Welcome into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, brought to you by Tab Bank. We're here at America First Field, home of Real Salt Lake, but today it is the host of the 6A Boys Soccer State Championship game. It is the number 2 in the RPI, the American Fork Cavemen, taking on the number 13, Bingham Miners. It'll be the American Fork Cavemen in their red. They'll be going to the left of your screen here in the first half, and it is, of course, the Bingham Miners, the number 13 in the RPI. They'll be going to the right of your screen here to start. Kickoff, and we're underway. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 40 minutes of the beautiful game. And quickly, we have a stoppage in play. Looks like we'll have to switch out the ball. 10 seconds into the game. For the number 2 in the RPI for the American Fork Cavemen, they come into this one led by head coach Casey Waldron. His 11th season in charge. 13-4 overall in the season. Finished 6-4 in Region 3 play. Third place in region behind Lone Peak and Skyridge. And then number 2 in the RPI, 53 goals scored on the season, 20 goals against for the Cavemen. Outscored their non-region opponents 52-2 this season. A very high potent attack, a very good defensive side in the Cavemen. Here's Miller Hall, ball played through, Osborne giving chase, Wicker off his line, and Riley Wicker will have to boot this one up and away. Ball stays with the Cavemen as Ness plays it through into Gubler. Gubler goes back to Nettesheim, and Nettesheim has possession here across the back. Got the first round bye with the number 2 overall seed for the Cavemen. They beat number 18 Copper Hills 2-2, 5-4 in the penalty shootout in the second round. Got a quarterfinal win against Pleasant Grove, 3-2 the final score in that one. And then, of course, on Tuesday, beating the Skyridge Falcons, the number 3 in the RPI, 2-1 to set themselves up here in the state championship game. An opportunity to go back-to-back for the American Fork Cavemen. Last season, beating the Farmington Phoenix here at America First Field, a 0-0 in the 6A championship game, thanks to a goal from Dimitri Larson, who, of course, is starting today for the American Fork Cavemen. Ball out of bounds over on the far sideline. Gunnell will throw it in. Ball booted away by the Cavemen. Played over the top and cleared out by this Bingham defense. Larson gets a touch, tries to poke it through. Ball back in the center circle with the Bingham Miners. Ball comes out now to Sam Knox. Knox will play it back to Smith. Bingham in possession. As for the Bingham Miners, led by Chad Pearson, first-year head coach for Bingham, as that ball will go safely into the hands of Jackson Dingus. First-year head coach Chad Peterson, 10-7 overall in the season, 6-6 in Region 2 play. They finished 4th in that region, and they are the number 13 seed in the RPI. Here comes the Miners on the attack. Sam Knox into the box and settles it for Jaden Brown. Brown will whip it into the box, goes near post as flicked through by Preston Osborne as it goes over the bar and out for the goal kick. The Bingham Miners trying to find Will Harris through. Instead, this one rolls safely back into the feet of Jackson Dingus. And Dingus will play it short to Ben Hess. Hess in possession here for the American Fork Cavemen. We'll go back to Dingus. Cavemen trying to hold some possession here in their own defensive third. Ball played out to Nash. Nash up the sideline, trying to give it to Osborne. Osborne brings it in against Gunnell. Back to Nettesheim. Nettesheim will go all the way back to Jackson Dingus. Cavemen here in possession again in their own defensive third. Ben Hess will carry it up with time and space. Hess will look to float one in up the sideline, giving chase is Jackson Noble. That one will go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Riley Wicker here will have an opportunity to boot this one away for the Bingham Miners. He'll play it short to Briggs Smith. Smith will bring it up with time and space for the Bingham Miners. Again, this is a Bingham Miners side, number 13 in the RPI, Cinderella in 6A. got the first round bye, and then in the second round took down number 4, Harriman, 2-1, after losing to Harriman twice in the regular season in region play, both by a score of 1-0. Won the one that mattered the most. Got past the number 4, took down the number 5 Davis 2-0 in the quarterfinals, and then got the semifinal win against number 1 Lone Peak, a 12-11 shootout on Tuesday to set themselves up here in an impressive run to the 6A championship game, looking for their first state championship since 2011, their one and only state championship for boys soccer for the Bingham Miners. Ball comes out to Knox. Knox heads it back in centrally. Here comes an opportunity. Smith will settle it to Margits. Margits cuts back, looking for support, crosses it in, comes off of Hess. Ben Hess giving chase. Margits back on the ball, deflected off of Hess, and it goes out of bounds and out. A corner kick coming up here for the Bingham Miners. An opportunity to whip a ball into the box and see if they can find their first goal of the game. 31 minutes left to go here in the first half. Still tied up at 0-0 in the 6A state championship game. Ryan Kim to take. Kim, 2 hands in the air, will whip one into the box. Goes near post, headed there by Gunnell. Flicked into the air, punched away by Dingus. And now Dimitri Larson giving chase. That ball poked away by Isaac Morris as it goes out of bounds. A throw-in coming up for the Cavemen over on the far sideline as Gavin Nash gets the ball back into play. The Cavemen played it centrally. Miller Hall loses possession. Here's the Miners. Margits giving chase. Booted away by Noble. Noble trying to get it to Osborne. Instead, it comes out. Takes a deflection now here at Jaden Brown. Up the sideline. Can't connect. It goes out of bounds and out. Ryan Kim to throw it in. Ball back in play. Here's Smith. Smith gets it to Kim. Kim plays it to Haycock. Haycock centrally. Heavy touch by Tyler Smith, but he's able to bring it in. Larson defending. Smith trying to keep that one from going out of bounds. A throw-in for the Cavemen over on the far sideline. Ball back in play. Miller Hall tries to flick it through with the header. Instead cleared away by Haycock. Out of bounds once more. Throw-in for the Cavemen. Connect near the top of the 18. Tries to bring it down. Nicely defended by Briggs Smith. Smith pushes it up with time and space for the Miners. Ball floated up to Will Harris. Harris with the heavy touch. Can't bring it in. Tries to keep it from going out of bounds. Another heavy touch, and that one will just roll through out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Cavemen play it short as Ben Hess here in possession inside his own box. Hess will boot it over the top. Right into the hands of Riley Wicker, and Wicker will boot this one away. Played to Jackson Noble. Noble plays it centrally to Gubler. Gubler looking for options. Can't get past La Rosa. La Rosa brings down. Connect. A whistle and a foul called. Free kick here for the Cavemen. As Gubler will leave it. Ben Hess will come up to take it. Hess with an opportunity to whip a ball into the box and create an opportunity here for the Cavemen to try to take a lead. 2 hands in the air for Hess. He'll whip it in towards the top of the 18. Headed away by Tyler Smith. And now here's Haycock. He'll settle it to Kim. Kim up the sideline to Knox. Knox back centrally to Haycock. Haycock into Margits. Opportunity for the Miners has Preston Margits with time and space. Trying to get it through to La Rosa and instead intercepted by the Cavemen. Gubler able to keep possession. Gets it out to Brown. Brown centrally to Gubler. Gubler. Larson can't bring it in. Smith will play it back to Briggs Smith. And now Briggs Smith here with time and space. Gunnell out wide. Gunnell. Centrally to Margits. Margits tries to play it back out to La Rosa. Instead, it goes out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up for the Cavemen over on the far sideline. Gavin Nash to throw it in. Comes down to Larson. Heavy touch. Brings it in. Gets it back to Nash. Booted away by Nettesheim. Giving chase here is Isaac Morris, who clears it away. Tracking to win it is Tyler Smith, who goes out wide to Knox. Knox cuts back onto his left. Knox centrally gets it to Haycock. Haycock on his right. Trying to get it back out to Sam Knox. Takes a heavy deflection. Giving chase here is La Rosa and Larson. La Rosa goes down. Larson still trying to battle out possession. Eli La Rosa wins it back. La Rosa now with an opportunity to cross it into the box. Cuts back, looking for support. Crosses it in towards the top of the 18. Tyler Smith giving chase. Lands all the way out at Lewis Connect. Connect now trying to take it up the sideline past Ryan Kim. Heavy touch by Connect. Connect able to go in centrally. And Ryan Kim with a big defensive effort. Nothing called, and we play on. This is Knox. Ball floated into the box and safely into the hands of Jackson Dingus. The senior goalkeeper, Dingus, coming up for the Cavemen as he plays it short to Hess. He'll get it to Brown. Brown out wide. And that one will go out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up here for the Miners with 25:45 left to go in the first half. Still tied up at 0-0. And for this American Fork Cavemen side, they win possession back. Connect. Gets past one. Connect. Goes down the whistle and a foul called. Free kick coming up here for the American Fork Cavemen in a dangerous position as Lewis Connect wins the free kick. Miller Hall to take the free kick. Riley Wicker will set up his box at his near post. 3 on the wall for the Bingham Miners. Everybody lined up at the back post. Opportunity here for Hall to whip it in. And we'll see if he decides to go for goal. Miller Hall scored a beauty of a free kick in the semifinal. Hall goes towards the back post and safely into the hands of Riley Wicker. Wicker plays it out quick for the Bingham Miners. Smith up the sideline. Smith goes down with a crunching tackle as Miller Hall is called for the foul. Ball played quickly as Harris giving chase. Harris goes down, and Harris commits the foul. Little physicality here in the last 5 minutes or so between both sides. Got to do what you got to do for the 6A championship. Jackson Dingus here will boot this one away. Opportunity to clear it away for the Cavemen as Dingus gets a foot on it. Gubler. And that one will go out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up here for the Bingham Miners. Prior to those substitutions coming up. Jaden Brown will head to the far sideline to sub out. Checking into the game will be number 13, Beckham Rosenthal. Or excuse me, it'll be Dimitri Larson who will check out for Rosenthal. Jaden Brown stays in the game. Comes over here to the near sideline. This is Sam Knox, as that ball will go out of bounds and out here on the near sideline. Substitution as Mason Simmons checks into the game for the Bingham Miners. Gubler winning it back for the Cavemen only momentarily as La Rosa with the interception. Ball out now to Rosenthal. Tries to get it up the sideline to Gavin Nash. Instead it rolls out of bounds and out for the throw-in over on the far sideline. The Bingham Miners possession here. Ball back in play. Now A free kick coming up here for the Miners with 17:25 left to go. Isaac Morris will take the free kick for Bingham. Opportunity to play a ball towards the box to see if we can break the deadlock. Ball put it up by Isaac Morris. This is Miller Hall. La Rosa. Ball booted up. Takes a deflection and will roll through out of bounds, and now a goal kick coming up now here for the, or no, they'll say took a deflection off of a Bingham defender, and so a corner kick coming up now for the Miners, or for the Cavemen. Lewis Connect will head over to the far corner to take. Number 99, the captain, the leading goal scorer for the Cavemen, on the ball, directing traffic. He'll whip it in near post, looking for Osborne, and cleared away by the Miners. A shot from Brown at the top of the 18, spilled by Wicker. And nicely cut out by the Miners. Brown back in possession. Brown plays it back to Miller Hall. Morris coming up defensively to win it back for the Bingham Miners, as Miller Hall will get a little tug on the jersey there and commits the foul. Free kick coming up for the Bingham Miners. Breaks Smith here to put this one away. Plays it short to Tyler Smith. Smith tries to play a ball over the top to La Rosa. Takes a header off of Eli La Rosa as that one goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Dingus will get things rolling again here for the Cavemen off the goal kick, as we reach the final 14-10. Riley Wicker here to boot this one away. Wicker gets it up and away. This is now brought down by Kim. Kim up the sideline, plays it into Margits. Margits centrally. Out wide now to Leggett. Leggett has an overlapping runner in Gunnell. Tries to get it out to Gunnell. Cleared away by the Cavemen. Osborne trying to reel it down. Takes a bounce as Isaac Morris will head it away. Try to get it back out. And cleared away. Throw in here for the Cavemen. Osborne tries to reel it in. Wicker off his line, and Wicker will collect. Riley Wicker boots this one up and away for the Bingham Miners. Headed away by Ben Hess. Giving chase is Colmere. Rosenthal gets a touch on it. Lands at Kim. Here's Ryan Kim for the Miners. Goes centrally. Margits. Margits plays it to Simmons. Simmons now into the box. Simmons crosses it in, takes a deflection, and it goes safely into the hands of Jackson Dingus. Dingus can now boot this one away. He'll play it short. Miller Hall gets it to Osborne. Now here's Haycock. Margits. Margits loses possession, intercepted by Ben Hess. That one goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Ball booted away. One back by the Cavemen. Here's Larson. Ball into the box for Connect. Connect with the shot and Connect with the goal. Cavemen open the scoring with Lewis Connect. Goal number 24 on the season for Lewis Connect, and the Cavemen lead it 1-0 here at American Fork Fields. Amazing ball played in behind Connect into the box all by himself. Calm, cool, and collected as you like as Connect puts the Cavemen up 1-0 over the Miners with 10:38 left to go. Down a goal now. How will Bingham respond? Briggs Smith plays it up to Simmons. Simmons trying to keep that from going out of bounds. Take a deflection, and now a throw-in coming up here on the near sideline for Kim to play it back in. Haycock brings it down. One back quickly by Osborne. On the attack is the Cavemen. Wicker off his line. He'll boot it away. Ball now with Colmier. Colmier cuts it to his right, tries to take a shot from distance, deflected, and booted away by Jackson Noble. Ball played short to Tyler Smith. Smith goes out wide to Simmons. Simmons into the box, crosses it in, the shot, takes a deflection, Colmier now, Morgan's trying to get on the end of it and cleared away by the Cavemen. Big opportunity for Bingham to try to tie it up, and now ball going the other way. Here's Larson. Larson goes down. Smith, and the foul called. A whistle and a free kick coming up here for the Cavemen. Simmons, who crosses the ball into the box, had an opportunity with both Colmier and Margits inside the 18. Nicely defended by the Cavemen as they're able to hold on to this 1-0 lead. As Olsen checks into the game. Rosenthal brings the ball in, goes to Connect. The whistle, the foul, and a free kick coming up as Lewis Connect wins another free kick. With 8 minutes left to go here in the first, the Cavemen trying to look for an opportunity to take a 2-goal lead into the halftime break. Free kick for the number 2 in the RPI. Miller Hall standing over it. Ben Hess standing over it. Osborne over it as well. Five on the wall here for the Bingham Miners. Now 4 as Simmons will walk away. Ben Hess with the left, Miller Hall with the right. Hess will take it from distance. It goes over the bar, but not too far off from Ben Hess, as that one will float over Riley Wicker's goal and out of bounds for the goal kick. Wicker can boot this one away. Hall with the interception. It goes out of bounds. Over on the far sideline, Bingham to throw it in. Ball booted away by the Cavemen. Riley Wicker off his line. He'll pick it up and collect. Wicker with the boot away. Olsen gets a touch, tries to get it back in centrally. Instead, it'll go out of bounds and out. Throw in here for the American Fork Cavemen on the near sideline. It'll be Jackson Noble to throw it in. Noble looking for options, gets it to Rosenthal. Rosenthal lets it bounce and brings it in. Rosenthal. Ball intercepted by Haycock. There's the Miners in possession. Haycock goes down. The whistle And a foul will call. The free kick coming up now for Bingham. Still plenty of time here in the first half for Bingham to try to tie it up. Still plenty of time for the Cavemen to try to take a lead, or to try to double their lead. With 5:45 left to go. This ball whipped in by Briggs Smith, deflected off the wall. Now towards the 18, brought in by Tyler Smith, who settles it. Now into the box. Here's Stockton Colmere, crosses it in, and that one will go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. For the Cavemen, trying to have a 40-year-old history repeat. Prior to last year's state championship win, their last win was in 1984. That 83-84 team went back-to-back. They ended a 40-year drought to win a championship once again. Now trying to repeat history 40 years later with a potential here at another back-to-back title. Is it written in the stars tonight for the Cavemen for history to repeat? With 4:30 up a goal here in the 6A championship game. Larson wins it back. Larson for the Cavemen, won back by Gunnell. Nicely defended by Gabe Gunnell, the senior defender for the Bingham Miners. This is Ben Hess. Hess will go all the way back to Dingus. Dingus will boot this one away. Jaden Brown brings it in for the Cavemen. He'll settle it for Noble. Noble goes back, supports himself with Hess. Hess back to Noble. And centrally to Hess. Hess with time and space. He'll go to Brown. Brown turns. Brown gets it to Osborne. Osborne caught in an offside position as the flag raised here on the near sideline. Offsides and a free kick coming up for the Bingham Miners. Opportunity to boot this one away. This is Kim. Up the sideline for Bingham. Try to get it to Colmere. Nice step in by Noble to clear it away. Throw in for on the near sideline for the Bingham Miners. Ryan Kim to throw it in. Short to Colmere. Colmere trying to get it back to Kim. Another deflection, this time off of Brown. Throw in again for Bingham. Here in the first half, up a goal to nothing. Ben Hess will boot this one over the top. Trying to get it to connect. Now into Hall. Hall at the top of the 18, takes the shot! And can't put it on frame. It goes over the bar and out for the goal kick, but a good opportunity there for the Cavemen to try to double this advantage. Simmons comes across, nothing called. Through to Brown, and Isaac Morris comes across, pokes it away as that ball goes out of bounds. A throw-in coming up for the Cavemen. Ben Hess tried to get it off of Brown, and instead that ball goes out of bounds. And a goal kick coming up here for the Miners with 40 seconds left in the first half. Riley Wicker to boot this one away. Ball in the center circle for the Cavemen as they win it back. Miller Hall pokes it to Connect. Connect trying to get it back to Miller Hall. Still Lewis Connect. Connect goes down. Ryan Kim giving chase. Kim will boot this away as that ball goes out of bounds. A throw-in coming up for the Cavemen on the near sideline with 10 seconds left. You back into America First Field. Beautiful skies, beautiful breeze as we get ready to start second half action here in the 6A state championship game between the American Fork Cavemen and the Bingham Miners. It is the American Fork Cavemen in the red. They'll be going to the right of your screen here in the second half, and it is the Bingham Miners in the white. They'll be going to the left as we get ready to start second half action. The American Fork Cavemen lead it a goal to nothing here in the 6A state championship game as the Cavemen look to double their lead here in the second half and clinch back-to-back 6A titles. Or can the Bingham Miners try to find a goal to get back into this one, get back on level terms, and see if they can make a game out of this? Plenty of time here in the second half for anything to happen in this state championship game. Bingham on the attack. That ball played out by Ben Hess. Free kick coming up for the Miners is the call. Ball whipped in. Dingus off his line. He'll punch it away. And Jackson Dingus, the senior goalkeeper, coming up big here early in the second half as Lewis Connect quickly going down the other way. Here's Connect up the sideline. Gets past Isaac Morris. Morris coming back and defending. And Lewis Connect goes down to the ground. The whistle and a foul will call the free kick coming up for the American Fork Cavemen in a dangerous spot. Free kick for the Cavemen. An opportunity here to try to double their lead. 3 on the wall for the Bingham Miners. Riley Wicker setting up his wall at his near post. It is Ben Hess standing over it to take. Left-footed whip in here from Hess. He'll go near post. Cleared away by the Miners as Jackson Noble will try to track it down. This ball will go out wide as Miller Hall goes down. Another whistle, another foul, and another free kick. Quickly coming up here for the Cavemen. Miller Hall down after the play. As we'll have a stoppage in play with Miller Hall down. 37-38 is our stoppage. Training staff here at America First Field will have to come on to take a look at Miller Hall. The senior midfielder for the Cavemen, 6 goals on the season, 7 assists. A big piece, a big cog in the midfield of what makes this American Fork side so good. Had the free kick goal, the free kick winner in the semifinals on Tuesday. So I hope that he's able to get up and return to this one because he is a vital piece for the American Fork Cavemen as he gingerly makes his way over to the sideline as Rosenthal will check in to replace Miller Hall. Free kick coming up here for the American Fork Cavemen as we get ready to resume action. Again, 37-38 left to go here in the second half. American Fork up 1-0 thanks to a goal from Lewis Connect. We resume play with the free kick. Ball whipped in, goes near post, headed away by the Miners. Marget's trying to track it down and instead booted away by Sam Knox. Rosenthal brings it in for the Cavemen. Rosenthal up the sideline. Now cuts inside, trying to get into the box, but amazingly defended there by Briggs Smith as we have a whistle behind the play. Another foul, another free kick coming up for the Cavemen in a dangerous spot. Another opportunity here for American Fork to whip a ball into the box. See if they can double their lead. 3 on the wall for the Bingham Miners. Wicker again setting his wall up at his right post. Everybody else lined up near the far post as that one will go directly to goal and safely into the hands of Riley Wicker, who comes up big for the Bingham Miners. Ball booted away by Wicker. Lands at Gubler. Gubler with a heavy touch. Lands at Harris now. Harris wins it back for the Bingham Miners in the attacking third. Plays it centrally. Lands at Tyler Smith. Smith cuts back, looking for support. Plays it across to Haycock. Haycock here with an opportunity. Haycock will take it from distance. Goes to the near post. Tries to pick off that bottom corner as it goes wide and out for the goal kick. Opportunity for the Cavemen to boot this one away and clear their lines. Ball booted up and away by Jackson Dingus. Goes to the near sideline as Connect brings it down. Connect does a good job there to keep that ball in bounds. Nettesheim heads it away. Tracking it down here is Sam Knox. Tries to play it to Harris. Harris goes down, and Harris called for the foul. Free kick coming up now for American Fork. Plays it across to Nettesheim as the Cavemen happy here to just keep possession in their own defensive half. Let's watch some of this time tick away. A ball over the top and safely into the hands of Riley Wicker, who boots this one away. Nettesheim clears it out. Throw in coming up on the near sideline for the Miners. Ball comes to Tyler Smith, plays it centrally to Haycock. Haycock back to Briggs Smith, the captain in possession. Smith plays it up to Sam Knox. Heavy touch, brings it down, settles it for Haycock. Haycock trying to get it back to Briggs Smith. Almost loses possession, does a good job to keep it. Now here's Margits for the Miners. Plays it to Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith taking it from distance. Can't put it on frame. It goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Cavemen. Opportunity to boot this one away. Dingus gets this up. Lands at Larson. Larson plays it to Gubler. Gubler to Hall. Hall plays it back across to Brown. Brown brings it down. Now trying to get it back out to Jaden Brown. Giving chase here is Briggs Smith, who clears it away for the Miners. Deflected off of Osborne. And Wicker here will pick it up. Riley Wicker to boot this, to get this one away as he plays it short to Smith. Now ball floated in over the top into the hands of Jackson Dingus. Dingus here can clear this one away. Dingus, under no pressure, boots this away. Osborne tries to flick it through to Connect. Instead, one back by the Miners. Here's Haycock. Haycock plays it out wide, trying to get it to Sam Knox. Cleared away by the Cavemen, as that one will roll safely out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Riley Wicker, goal kick coming up for the Bingham Miners. Down a goal as Isaac Morris here in possession, the center back, will play it up centrally towards Margits. Margits with a heavy touch, gets it out. La Rosa tries to settle it back, intercepted by Connect. Morris comes in and takes the ball off of Lewis Connect. Isaac Morris and Connect giving chase. Tangled up as Morris here ends up with possession. Advantage played for the Bingham Miners as he'll play the ball centrally to Margits. Margits gets it to Smith. Smith to La Rosa. La Rosa, the hero in the penalty shootout, trying to be the hero here in the second half of the Miners. Ball played in and safely into the hands of Jackson Dingus. Dingus will play it short to Nettesheim. And Nettesheim will bring possession up for the American Fork side. Isaac Morris covering defensively against Osborne. Gets it across to Smith. Smith will clear it away. Knox brings it in for the Miners. Knox back in centrally towards Morris. Morris plays it to the near sideline for Gunnell. Gunnell will go back. As now Morris gets it to Gunnell. Gunnell up the sideline to La Rosa. La Rosa centrally looking for options. Heavy deflection, lands at Connect. Briggs Smith pokes it away. Connect trying to bring it in. Ryan Kim. Now wide to Gunnell. Centrally to Haycock. Back to Kim. Kim brings it up with time and space. Now out wide to Tyler Smith. Sam Knox trying to get past Noble. Noble doing a good job defensively as that ball rolls out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up for the American Fork Cavemen. Ball into Gubler. Gubler plays it across to Hall. Good to see Miller Hall back onto the field as well after having to come off earlier. Gavin Nash. Nash plays it in centrally to a runner. Here's Jaden Brown inside the box. Takes the deflection off of Smith. And Wicker can clear it away. Haycock giving chase. One back by Gubler. American Fork back on the attack with Gubler. Ball filtered through, trying to get to Osborne. Huge defensive intervention there from Gunnell as the Miners now in possession with La Rosa. Eli La Rosa looking for options. Haycock settles it for Smith. Smith across to Briggs Smith, who now plays it to the near sideline for Gabe Gunnell. Gunnell up the sideline here with time and space. Goes centrally to La Rosa. La Rosa gets it on his right past Gubler. La Rosa out wide to Knox. Knox brings it in. Centrally now on his left for Knox. Knox taking it from distance, deflected. And Miller Hall is able to bring it out for the Cavemen. Plays it to Larson. Larson over the top, giving chases Connect. Lewis Connect. Wicker off his line. Connect into the box. It's Connect. Connect goes down. Briggs Smith with a huge defensive tackle. Briggs Smith denies Connect from getting a shot off. It goes out of bounds and out. A corner kick coming up for American Fork over on the far sideline. Lewis Connect will head over to take here with 28-11 left to go in the second half. American Fork up a goal to nothing. They'll have a corner kick to try to double this lead after the big defensive intervention from Briggs Smith. Jaden Brown will be the one to take as Connect goes into the box. Everybody lined up towards the far post for the Cavemen. Jaden Brown floats one in, near post, headed away. Gunnell will boot this one away. Lands at Gubler. Gubler brings it in for the Cavemen, cuts back. Nicely done there by Gubler, who goes out to Hall. Miller Hall whips it in. Over Riley Wicker, Connect inside the box, tries to take the shot at an awkward angle, and it goes out of bounds. Lewis Connect trying to double his side's advantage, trying to find his second of the afternoon. And it goes out of bounds. Riley Wicker here will boot this one away. Substitution for the Miners as Mason Simmons back into the game. And Rosenthal also in for the American Fork Cavemen. Out of bounds and out. It's a Bingham or American Fork throw here. Smith with the interception. Miners back in possession. Goes back to Morris. Morris to Smith. Smith back to Briggs Smith. Briggs Smith over the top, looking to float one in. La Rosa giving chase. That will go safely back into the feet of Jackson Dingus, who here is happy to take some time off that clock. Dingus We'll boot it away. Smith heads it to Haycock. Haycock looks to float one in over the top. La Rosa giving chase. And that one will go safely out of bounds and out for the Cavemen goal kick. Substitution coming up here for the Bingham Miners as Tyler Smith checking out. Checking into the game, Peter Davis. Ball booted away by Dingus. Davis there with the header as he tries to win it back for the for the Miners. Ball goes out of bounds and out. A throw in coming up for Bingham. Here on the near sideline, it'll be Gabe Gunnell to throw it in. Gunnell. Margits to Haycock. Haycock gets it out to Ryan Kim. Kim plays it to La Rosa. La Rosa pokes it out to Knox. Knox up the sideline. Trying to get past Noble, but Jackson Noble doing a phenomenal job defensively. As that ball goes out of bounds and out, Knox throw in taken quick, brought down by Kim. Kim back out to Sam Knox. Knox to La Rosa. La Rosa leaves it for Knox. Knox tries to tee it up with the left-footed shot, deflected. Davis plays it into Simmons. Simmons at the top of the 18, cleared away momentarily and now booted out by the Cavemen as Nettesheim pokes it out. Gunnell in possession, gets it back to Morris. Morris plays it to Davis. Davis back out wide to Gabe Gunnell. Gunnell up the sideline, into Simmons. Simmons doing a good job holding up the ball, but loses it to Dimitri Larson, and Larson tries to get it up, but it goes out of bounds. Gabe Gunnell again to throw it in for Bingham. Margits plays it in centrally. Here's Davis. Davis in possession. Ball poked away by Jaden Brown. And another throw-in coming up here for Bingham. Davis plays it in. Haycock lets it bounce. One back by Miller Hall. Hall will play this ball to Rosenthal. Heavy touch by Rosenthal. One back by the Miners. Here's Ryan Kim. Sam Knox, heavy touch. Ben Hess giving chase, and he'll let this one roll out of bounds and out for the American Fork goal kick. Substitution coming up here for the Miners, or excuse me, for the Cavemen. As number 17, Andrew Moskey's checking in. Ball booted away by Dingus. Sam Knox trying to bring that in for Bingham over on the far sideline. Instead, it'll roll out of bounds and out for the American Fork throw-in. Caveman back in possession here with Moskey's. Bringing it in for his first touches since checking in. Out of bounds and out once more. Moskey's to throw it in for the Cavemen. Ball into Jaden Brown, who brings it down. Plays it back to Andrew Moskey's. Out of bounds and out once more. Another throw-in coming up for the Cavemen over on the far sideline. 22-13 left to go here in the second half. The Cavemen up 1-0 thanks to a goal from Lewis Connect. Osborne taking it from distance and can't put it on frame. That ball goes over the bar and out for the goal kick. Wicker takes it quickly, trying to get it into the attacking third. Quickly went back, Evan Esch. And Simmons coming across and winning it for the Bingham Miners. Here comes Simmons. Simmons defended by Nettesheim. Simmons into the box. He'll leave it for La Rosa. La Rosa now near the top of the 18. La Rosa with the heavy touch, booted away by Miller Hall. Big defensive play there made by the number 10 for the Cavemen. As Brick Smith trying to get it back into the attacking third. Here's Davis, who plays it to Margits. Margits loses out possession. It's Rosenthal for the Cavemen. One back by Kim. Kim with an opportunity. Kim out wide to Knox. Rosenthal has to come across and clear it away. This ball goes out of bounds. And we have a throw-in. Out of bounds again. Another throw-in coming up for the Miners. Ball in now for Davis, into the box, crosses it in, looking for La Rosa, but it'll go out the other way, and out for the throw-in. Nice pressure on the Cavemen defense here from the Bingham Miners in the last 10 minutes or so to try to find this equalizer. Still looking for that decisive pass, that decisive opportunity to put him in behind the Cavemen defense for a big opportunity to try to find the equalizer. Cavemen throw in here on the near sideline. Nash plays it into Hall. Hall tries to bring it down, does, and coming across defensively to win it back is Briggs Smith. Smith with time and space. Tries to get it up the sideline. Giving chase here is Sam Knox. Knox brings it in. Knox whistled for the foul. A free kick coming up here for the Cavemen as they try to play Sam Knox in behind. Opportunity again to boot this one away for American Fork. The number 2 in the RPI up a goal to nothing over number 13 as Jaden Brown brings it in. Brown defended by Margits. Brown tries to play one through. Moskis takes a shot just outside the 18 and safely into the hands of Wicker, who boots this one away. Nettesheim with a touch. Osborne gets it out to Miller. Hall. Hall over the top. Brown brings it down. Brown out wide to Nash. Nash back centrally to Brown. And Jaden Brown goes down. Haycock whistled for the foul. And another free kick coming up here for the Cavemen. We'll have a stoppage in play as the center ref will head over to talk to his assistant here on the near sideline about that foul. Maybe having a conversation here about a potential card to come out. And we do see the yellow card caution issued. Yellow card has been issued to number 15, Mason Haycock, the junior. He'll have to sub out. Checking back into the game is number 3, Tyler Smith, in for the Miners as Haycock sees yellow. Ben Hess will stand over the ball to take the free kick. 18:36 left to go here in the second half. Cavemen with the free kick. Ball whipped in by Ben Hess. Goes far back post. Connect is there. And the ball comes out to Sam Knox. Knox goes to ground. Lewis Connect trying to win the ball back. Defended by Gunnell. Sam Knox comes across, makes the tackle as it goes out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up over on the far sideline for American Fork. Substitution here for the Miners as Logan Portree checking in.
Substitution number 23, Logan Portree.
Also in for the Cavemen, Logan Gubler back into the game. Into the box, cleared away by the Miners. Now here's Rosenthal on his right. Rosenthal into the box. Rosenthal takes the shot, can't put it on frame. Out of bounds and out, but Rosenthal with a big opportunity for the Cavemen. And he can't convert. This one remains 1-0 Moskey's back into the attack for American Fork. Ball out to Beckham. Rosenthal again here, an opportunity for the Cavemen as Rosenthal's in the box. Nicely defended by Briggs Smith. Smith goes down. Ball rolls out to Osborne. Osborne tries to whip a ball back in, takes a deflection, out of bounds and out. It'll be a throw-in for American Fork over on the far sideline, taken quickly. Moskey's brings it down inside the box. Now Gabe Gunnell will push it up for the Miners. Up the sideline, Gunnell plays it into Simmons. Simmons tries to bring it in. Nettesheim there defensively, and Nettesheim will clear it away. Throw-in coming up for the Bingham Miners in the attacking third prior to substitutions coming up for Bingham. Checking into the game, Hayden Haycock back in. Also checking in, number 13, Stockton Colmere for the Miners. La Rosa brings it down. La Rosa in centrally to Haycock. Haycock to Sam Knox. Knox back to La Rosa. Nice little bit of passing here for the Miners. This is done by Davis to poke that out wide to Kim. Kim cuts in centrally, looking for options. Davis at the top of the 18 takes the shot. Deflected, but the whistle. And a opportunity for the Miners that will be whistled back as Preston Margits I believe the call was that Preston Margits didn't make it off the field in time after the substitutions. But either way, Bingham trying to get possession back with Knox. Rosenthal leaves it for Osborne. Osborne cuts it back. Now ball up to Moskey's, who plays it to Osborne. Miller Hall here, excuse me. Miller Hall trying to play, it's Rosenthal who's in possession. Now Miner ball with Simmons. Simmons plays it to Davis. Davis over the top, giving chase here is Stockton Colmere, defended by Gavin Nash. Nash will shield it as that ball rolls out of bounds, and now a throw-in coming up. Prior to conversation here with the officials to be had, and then ultimately the ball will go to the Bingham Miners here on the throw-in. 14:07 left to go. This is Davis trying to get it back to Gunnell, but a heavy pass. It'll go out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up now for the Cavemen to try to clear their lines. Gavin Nash will throw it in. Plays it to Hall. Hall gets it out to... That ball played out by Jaden Brown. Gabe Gunnell to throw it in. Now here's Brown for the Cavemen. Nicely won back momentarily by Stockton Colmere, poked out by Gavin Nash. Out of bounds and out, another throw-in coming up, this time for the Miners here on the near sideline. Gabe Gunnell to throw it in. Ball booted away by the Cavemen. Here's Briggs Smith in possession for Bingham. Plays it centrally to Haycock. Haycock inside the center circle. Goes back across to Briggs Smith. Smith tries to get it out wide to Knox. Knox with a touch back to Ryan Kim. Heavy touch by Ryan Kim as Rosenthal wins possession back. Rosenthal can't keep that one from going out of bounds. A throw-in coming up for the Miners over on the far sideline. This is Ryan Kim to throw it in. Ball back in play. Simmons with the header, settles it for Knox. Knox brings it in, gets past two. Sam Knox trying to keep possession for Bingham. Ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming up for the Miners. Ryan Kim again to throw it in for Bingham. Davis trying to track it down. Haycock now here in the middle of the park. Davis again, plays it to Morris. Morris will take from distance as that ball goes over the bar and out for the goal kick. Heavy attempt there from Isaac Morris from a long way out. Can't put it on frame. Substitutions coming up here for the Cavemen. Dimitri Larson checking back into the game. Also checking back in will be number 99, Lewis Connect. Off comes number 17, Moskews, and of course, number 24, Jaden Brown. Tries to flick it through with the header there. Gubler lands at Davis. Davis gets it out to Gunnell. Defended by Larson. Gunnell gets past Larson. The whistle and the foul will call. The free kick coming up here for the Bingham Miners. And the yellow card caution issued to number 99, Lewis Connect. Connect will immediately have to head back to the bench after his yellow card just checked in. Back into the game, number 24, Jaden Brown for the Cavemen. 11-14 left to go. Free kick coming up here as Isaac Morris will play it in to the 18. Goes out the other end. Out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for Jackson Dingus. Connect will check back in. Ball put away by Jackson Dingus. Comes out now for Osborne. Into the box. Connect. Brings it in. Turns. Trying to get the shot off. Connect with the shot. And it goes wide of the post. Big opportunity there for American Fork to try to double this lead. Riley Wicker boots this one away off the goal kick quickly. Simmons headed away. Gubler tracking it down, and Gubler will boot this one up and away, out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up over on that far sideline for the Bingham Miners. Substitution prior to as Leggett checking in. Ball back in play. Leggett trying to track it down. Gubler clears it out. Only to find Haycock. Haycock with the header, brings it down. Defended by Connect. Leggett trying to turn. Connect wins it back. American Fork trying to get onto the counter. This is Larson. Larson plays it to Osborne, who leaves it for Rosenthal. Back now Osborne. Osborne looks to float one in back in towards Rosenthal. Isaac Morris will track it down, and Wicker boots this one away. The ball goes out of bounds and out over on the far sideline. Connect still down after the play. Now we'll have a stoppage here for Lewis Connect. Lewis Connect still down here for the Cavemen after the challenge by Stockton Colmere. Connect now back up on his feet. Nine minutes left to go here in the second half. We get ready to resume action as the Cavemen up 1-0. Ball back in play. And that ball out of bounds and out. Throw it coming up for the Miners over on the far sideline. Prior to substitution to be made for the Miners. Ball back in play and booted away. Gabe Gunnell will leave it for Kim to throw it in. Ball brought down by the Miners. Here's Haycock, who plays it back to Smith. Smith towards the sideline. Brick Smith up to Colmere. Colmere now with an opportunity. Colmere has a chance to cross it in. Into the box. Colmere loses possession. Brought down by Connect. Lewis Connect to the corner flag. Finds Colmere. Colmere supports himself with Davis. Davis whips the ball into the box towards the back post, punched away by Dingus. Kim brings it down. Kim goes out to Simmons. Simmons back into the box. Nicely done by Simmons to keep possession. The cross comes in, takes a deflection. Ball crossed in by Portree. Now Kim. The shot from distance from Davis as it goes over the bar and out for the goal kick. Goal kick and an opportunity here for Jackson Dingus to boot this one away. Jackson Dingus off the goal kick. 7 minutes left to go here. 7 minutes for the Cavemen to hold on. 7 minutes for the Miners to try to find an equalizer. Here's Stockton Colmere, who plays it to Leggett. Leggett, step over, into the box, defended by Nash, cleared away by Nettesheim. As that ball goes out of bounds, and now a throw-in coming up for the Miners. Haycock to throw it in. Gets it to Stockton Colmere, who brings it down. Leggett will cross it into the box, safely into the hands of Jackson Dingus. The senior goalkeeper now can boot this one away. Connect tries to bring it in. Here's Dimitri Larson. Larson gets past Morris. Morris cuts it out. Morris trying to get on the end of it. Still Bingham trying to win the ball back defensively. Dimitri Larson called for the foul, and a free kick coming up now for the Miners. Ball booted away by Bingham. The wind really picking up here now at America First Field. Heavy touch made by Meyer as that ball goes out of bounds. Substitution coming up. Eli La Rosa checking back in. Off comes Simmons. .15 left to go. Throw in by the Cavemen over on the far sideline. Here's Dimitri Larson for the Cavemen up the sideline. Giving chase is Brown. Morris comes across and clears it away. Takes a deflection off of Brown. It'll be a throw in for the Miners over on the far sideline. Ryan Kim to throw it in for Bingham. She plays it short to Morris. Across now to Briggs Smith. Smith will carry up with time and space. Smith gets past Connect. Smith. Ball played through. Leggett giving chase. Gubler covering defensively. Leggett tries to stop that from going out of bounds. But the heavy pass will roll out for the goal kick. 4:20 left to go. Dingus to kick it away. Cavemen here holding on to a 1-0 lead. Ball booted away. And it goes out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Bingham Miners. Briggs Smith to throw it in. Nettesheim covering defensively. Nettesheim trying to boot it away. Out of bounds once more. Another throw in coming up here for Bingham prior to substitution as the Miners looking to make a change. Off comes Stockton. Colmier checking back into the game is Simmons. Haycock plays it into La Rosa. La Rosa over the top. Leggett giving chase. Nettesheim headed away. Lands at La Rosa. La Rosa now inside the box. La Rosa goes down. Keeps his footing. Looking for options. La Rosa across to Kim. Kim at the top of the 18 pokes it through. Here's Meyer who crosses it in. Cleared away at the near post by Ben Hess. Still inside the box. And now out of bounds and out. That could have been a big opportunity there for the Bingham Miners. But the Cavemen holding strong defensively, didn't allow the shot. And now a goal kick for Dingus to clear it away. 2:50 to go. Out of bounds and out. Meyer to throw it in for the Miners. Ball back in play. Ball flicked through. Leggett. Simmons giving chase. Cleared away by Gavin Nash. Riley Wicker here in possession. Ball played in over the top. Here's La Rosa who wins it. La Rosa looking for options. Goes out wide to Kim. Kim back in for La Rosa. Cleared away by the Cavemen. Isaac Morris there with the header. Gubler misses. And Dingus off his line collects. Dingus to boot this one away. The Cavemen fans, the Cavemen student section on their feet. With 1:35 left to go, holding on to a 1-goal lead. Isaac Morris will boot this away. Nettesheim clears it away. Brick Smith comes in, commits the foul on Connect. And Brick Smith will see yellow. And he'll have to sub off. Another yellow card has been issued. This one to Preston Osborne. 2 yellow cards coming out quickly. One to Osborne for the Cavemen, one to Brick Smith. As Osborne will have to sub out, Rosenthal in. 1:16 left to go. Free kick coming up for the Cavemen. Stockton Colmier checking back into the game. Or excuse me, it was 21 Will Harris who checked back in. That ball goes to Connect. One back by Morris. Booted away. Leggett with a heavy touch, out of bounds and out. We'll have a stoppage in play again with 57 seconds left as substitutions are being made. Preston Osborne back into the game. Ball cleared away. Out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up for the Miners. With 40 seconds left, Simmons plays the ball in. The whistle, the foul, and a free kick coming up here for the Bingham Miners. With 38 seconds left, this could be their final opportunity to find the equalizer. Riley Wicker, the goalkeeper, heading to the top of the 18 as well, getting into the mix. The Miners desperate for the equalizer. It's all or nothing now for Bingham. Eli La Rosa will take the free kick. Substitutions being made here by the Cavemen. Riley Wicker in towards the back post. 4 on the wall for American Fork. La Rosa to take. La Rosa steps up, ball whipped in near post, headed away, and Meyer can't track it down at the top of the 18. A throw-in coming up for the Miners. Ball in, and now here come the Cavemen. Intercepted by the Miners with 20 seconds left. That ball will roll out of bounds and out. A goal kick, a corner kick coming up. They gotta go quick. They don't have the time. Corner kick coming up. The countdown. Kim can't get the ball on the spot. Ryan Kim to cross it into the box. First, headed through, and it's over. The American Fork Cavemen are going back to back. Celebrations here on the near sideline for the team in red and white. The American Fork Cavemen, back-to-back 6A state champions. In the end, it's a goal from 99. The captain, the leader, the top goal scorer, Lewis Connect, that makes the difference as the Cavemen hold on to a 1-0 lead. Heartbreak for number 13, Bingham, the Cinderella story of boys soccer. Bingham, who fought so hard and so valiantly, finished the season at 10-8 overall. But do not discredit their incredible run, knocking off number 4 in Harriman, knocking off number 5 in Davis, and knocking off the number 1 in Lone Peak. But the number 13 will fall short of their first title since 2001. Hey, don't go anywhere. We'll keep it here as the trophy presentation's coming up here on KSLSports.com as we'll present the 6A championship trophy to the American Fork Cavemen. They say history has a tendency to repeat itself. 40 years ago, the American Fork boys soccer team in 1983 won their first ever state championship. A year later, in 1984, that same boys soccer team went back to back for the state championships. Fast forward 40 years later, the 2024 team last season, the first American Fork side to win a state championship in 40 years for boys soccer. And now the same team a year later goes back to back as history is repeated for the American Fork Cavemen. They'll come over here to the near sideline again to celebrate with their fans, with their family. As we await the trophy presentations. We'll turn our attention over to the Bingham Miners as they'll be presented with the runner-up trophy first. Again, nothing for Chad Pearson and his side to hang their heads low for. A beautiful run here in the end to the state championship game, but they'll fall short.
Will be presented by UHSA
We'll turn our attention now over to the American Fork Cavemen as Lewis Connect making his way over with the state championship trophy. And there it is! The American Fork Cavemen, back-to-back 6A state champions. Had to wait 40 years between title number 2 and title number 3. Now they only wait a year for title number 4. 4-time state champions for the American Fork Cavemen. Hey, that's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, brought to you by Tab Bank. I'm Alex Napolis. Big shout out to Doug on the camera, and from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick step aside, but when we come back, we'll have 4A action coming up next in an all-St. George championship game as the Dixie Flyers get ready to take on the Crimson Cliff Mustangs. And that's next here on KSLSports.com.